In this video, I'll be playing through Donkey Kong on the NES while giving you soft commentary and rain sound to hopefully help you relax and sleep. If you like this short so far, click the link at the bottom of your screen. That way you can join us for the full video. I'm going to play through a few rounds of this, mainly just to help you finally fall asleep, and no big issues, no jump scares, no nothing to wake you up. We're just going to play through this wonderful, simple game, and it's only 3 levels long a few times, hopefully helping you fall asleep fast. If you like these videos, subscribe, and I have many more. Actually, I have the first 2 official Donkey Kong Country games, the ones that you probably were looking for. If this one came up, I've already done those 2, and I'm working on the 3rd one. You just have to give me a little bit of time with the 3rd one, because the 3rd one is quite difficult compared to the first 2. But this one I've played through, I don't know, a good amount of times, and kind of wonder if I'm soft locked here, because oh, there he goes, he's gonna move out of the way. So this is what you could call maybe the first platformer. I think some people called the original Mario Brothers the first platformer, and it wasn't. I mean, this is a platformer, even if it is quite crude and it's only a single screen, but this came out in, I believe, what, 1983? If I'm not mistaken, this particular game for the arcade. So yeah, this came before Mario 1, which came out in like 1985, I believe. So the object of this particular level is to basically take out these little blocks here, because those will get rid of the supports and make Donkey Kong drop. And oh, I thought I was gonna be stuck there for a second. There were other games around this era. I don't know if they came before or after Donkey Kong, like Lode Runner, which was actually kind of similar to this. Like, it was a single screen platformer kind of thing, where you basically had to like get rid of pieces of the floor to trap your enemies and all of that, and you had to get like all the coins and everything, which was actually really like Lode Runner. I don't know if you remember that. That was more of a PC game than a actual console game. There might have been a console version, but that's the first round of Donkey Kong over. And as you can see, Mario right there, who was called Jumpman at that point, has gotten with, I believe, Pauline, who eventually, I don't know if Pauline and Peach are the same character, but you know, they kind of looked similar, both white, both blonde, both wearing a pink dress, you know. So it seems likely. Oh, I got stuck in a bad spot right there. It's fine though. That's just what happens in this game. I don't know how you predict if these things go down the ladder or not, but as you can see, the game does get more difficult as, you know, you go to round 4 or round 2 of the entire thing. You're going to deal with bigger hazards, and I honestly think this is probably the hardest level out of all of them, is the first level, honestly. But we're going to play through a couple of them. There's not going to be any rage outs or anything, because I don't do that on this channel. This is not your average, you know, let's play channel of, you know, big epic moments and screaming and all of that other stuff. It's not that. We don't do that here. And honestly, I never did on the previous channels I did for gaming. I never was into that screamy scream, oh my god, a monster on my screen thing. I mean, like, I know people love it, and I'm not trashing those YouTubers, but I'm just not the screamy scream type. I don't like to lose my voice, especially when it comes to like a video game. How am I supposed to get that spot though? Whoops, that was my fault. A little bit of a tough area. As I said, like, the difficulty definitely increased between games. The enemies are a lot faster in this one and a lot more frequent. As we can see, well, let's see if we can find a spot. There you go. That's level 2 or level 5, depending on what you're reading this as. Over, and now we're on round 2 of taking out this building that has Donkey Kong on top of it. And of course, Donkey Kong is based on King Kong. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I don't think anyone has ever debated or disputed that. And I'm sure that they would have called it King Kong if they could get the license for it, because it would have been a more recognizable name than Donkey Kong. Um, oh, little fire dudes will follow me. It's fine. I'll lose a life and move on to the next one. And if we run out of lives, we'll just keep playing until I get bored with it. But right now, I'm having fun with this. It's very basic, but sometimes you want to go back to basic stuff. You know, every so often, I've even done it on the channel. Even, you know, I'll go back and play like solitaire at night and stuff. And I know solitaire is more of an old folks game. But I actually enjoy it. I actually really enjoy sitting here just playing solitaire sometimes. Sometimes you just want to unplug, turn your brain off for the most part, and just play something that's super basic, doesn't have a story, doesn't have any type of epic levels, no crazy platforms, no crazy boss fights, no nothing. It's just, you know, you're just trying to get cards, you know, to line up together, and that's all you're doing. Okay, I was wondering if I could. Okay, so I can't jump when I have the hammer. Okay. I'm not sure if the Hammer Bros thing came from the hammer power up, but there's round 2 of Donkey Kong done, where he's gonna fall down again and bop his head, and then me and Pauline, or Jumpman and Pauline, get together again. So let's do round 3 of Donkey Kong Country. No, that hasn't come yet. Of Donkey Kong, the original, and see how hard it gets. I'm sure it's going to get pretty outrageous after a while, to the point where it's nearly impossible. And we're definitely not trying to beat Billy Mitchell's score or contest his score, because we're not Carl Jobson. We don't want to get sued. That was a big reason I stopped even doing reaction videos, was because of that nasty situation that came up where someone lost about $1 million just because they said you didn't, you know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. It wasn't because Carl said that Billy's record was fake. I think it actually was that he had said that Billy Mitchell had caused someone's death some way or another. I forgot what it was. It was something to do with it was Billy's fault for someone dying or something like that. And it was just like, bro, what? You know, that's crazy. I think it was Billy had threatened to sue somebody, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, so forgive me. But wasn't it like someone had said that his record was fake or something, and then like, you know, he did a cease and desist or something and told him, you know, shut up, you know, it's not true or whatever, or, you know, I'll sue you if you keep on. And the dude just happened to end up ending it all, let's just say it that way. And then Carl Jobs tried to say that that was, you know, Billy's fault, that, you know, he was the one that caused it, and he said it multiple times, you know. The big old issue of FAFO, but you just never know, man. People, like, ever since the H3H3 lawsuit came through, and I don't know what by the time you watch this, it might have been already decided, but this is being shot in 7/23/25, so that's the date that I'm recording this. That lawsuit basically opened it up where a lot of people are threatening lawsuits against other YouTubers, and I'm just like, I don't want to bother, you know. I just want to quietly make my little YouTube videos and make people happy, help people sleep, and then just, you know, whatever. If it doesn't get a ton of views, it's fine. If it never gets big, it's fine. You know, I'd rather just do this and live in peace than have to worry about, you know, a letter showing up. Oh, you said something about me on a reaction video. I don't like you, and give me all your money, you know. So, trying to avoid that at all costs. So that's why I switched to gaming, because this is what I wanted to do at the end of the day. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I was just fed up with being a reaction channel. I just did not like it. I didn't enjoy doing it anymore. I thought it was annoying and cheap and wasn't creative at all. And, you know, wasn't making money either. Wasn't making enough to justify the risk that could come with that, you know. We're on round 3 of Donkey Kong. Keep wanting to say country, but we're not on Donkey Kong Country. This is Donkey Kong NES, the original Donkey Kong. So it looks like, I don't know, the level doesn't seem that much more difficult. Maybe it is. I'm just basically just playing through it over and over because hopefully it helps you sleep, really. I mean, I'm not trying to go for a high score. I don't care about scores and speed runs and all that of this, but I do bring speed runs up a lot because I really respect those people and I think they're incredible at what they do, and I really support their channels and hope that you check them out. And I need to start just naming off runners that do the games I do on here, in case you wanted to like watch someone that's super skilled at this where I'm not, you know, give them a little bit of love. And hopefully if the video gets views, it'll bring them something, you know. Like I did bring up Trihex and Yoshi's Island, and I think I brought up Cheese and Siglimic and a few others in the Mario 64 video. And if I ever do Zelda, we could probably talk about Narcissa, if Narcissa even does it anymore. I don't know if Narcissa even bothers anymore. That's a whole drama for somebody else's channel. But they used to be at least the GOAT when it came to, you know, Zelda, so, or at least Ocarina of Time. That is just a tough spot. That is a really tough spot. How am I supposed to? That's just really tough, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. But it's gonna fall right on the left. Let's analyze the pattern, okay? Let's just watch it. All right, bounces on the first ladder, lands on the second ladder. Between the first two, then lands on the second, on the actual ladder we need to get up. So if we can maybe get under this, we can do like that. There you go. This is round 4, I believe, of the, I think it says right there, level 4. Like M1 is my amount of lives left. I have 1 life left, and then this is level 4 of the rounds of this game, which the game just pretty much loops forever. I don't know if it actually has a ending at any point. I don't think it does. Because back then, these were just one-screen arcade games. They were meant to get your quarters, and, you know, high scores were the thing. And it wasn't like, you know, they had endings and storylines and stuff like that. Really, that wasn't really a thing at that point. At least some games did, but it was very minimal. More akin to things like Ultima and, you know, those sort of RPG games and stuff of the era, but those really didn't even have stories in the game either. You basically got like a booklet that told you the story, you know, that you had to read the booklet to see the context of the story you were doing. So I'm pretty sure that's how Ultima did it a lot, at least for the first couple of them. It was more like, you know, you read the manual, or it might like refer to a certain page in the booklet that you got with the game, you know, to basically tell you what the story was at that point, because they just didn't have the space to even put the stuff on there, you know. But they didn't have the ability to write these grand operatic things on the game itself, you know, where you would just read it in game. It was just, you know, we're talking about like games that barely fit on a disc, you know, where the character was like a stick figure, and, you know, all the menus were like numbers, like, you know, the Oregon Trail, where, you know, it was like option 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, you know. And that's how it was back then, you know. So now it's the same sort of era right here. where dungeons were like wireframe. If they were quote unquote 3D, they were like wireframe kind of things. Like in Ultima 1 was like that, I believe, and Akalabeth, which was the more or less the beta for Ultima 1, really. It was Richard Garriott trying to figure out, how to even make a game at that point. So that's what Akalabeth was Ultima Zero, as some people call it. But, that's how games were back then. They were very primitive and stick figure, and, some people still love those. And we even had text adventure back then. That was before my time, though. That was before I was born, where that was a big thing. But, some people still did it, even into the 90s, really, and maybe even today, the text adventures, which would be similar to a visual novel now, kinda, sorta, not really. I mean, a visual novel is basically like an interactive comic book, more or less, where it's a lot of reading and a lot of menus and everything for all the gameplay and all that, and just different pictures and stories show up and stuff like that. But back then it was sort of like, you would tell your, a prompt, a blank screen. They'll just like have the text show up, and it'll be like, your character did XYZ, turn left, right, straight, pick up item, all that stuff. There was one actually I played recently that was a Flash game. I forgot what it was called. It was one where like you were stuck in, like you were basically in a saw trap, and it was really interesting, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to get out of the thing, which tells you that I would die in the saw trap if I ever was in one. But it was definitely an interesting little bit. I forgot if I can remember. I can't remember. I just remember you wake up in a shed, and it's dark, and you have to, find a candle or something, and just, all that sort of stuff. There we go. We get burnt. Is that game over? No? We got 0 lives left. I got one more. I think Donkey Kong Country actually did that too, but back to the thing I was talking about, the text adventure thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really cool. It was a really popular one. If you just look it up on Google, you can look it up. Just look up text adventure game, The Shed or something, and I actually really enjoyed the small amount of time I was playing that. Did he come across? Little fire dude is just really wanting to wreck my day right now. Which you're not going to. Nope. There we go. There's another round of Donkey Kong done. It doesn't look like the difficulty really ramps up. It ramped up that one time. But it doesn't look like it really does much different. It's just kind of the same thing over and over. Which is fine. I don't know. Maybe it is getting harder and I'm just getting better at it. I doubt it. I doubt that. There goes my last life. Game over. Okay, let's go to, what is game B? I was playing game A. I don't know what game B does. Okay, is game B the harder one, or is it just like a different set of ladders? Like it's set up differently, or? I think game B might be hard mode. That was the same first level, but it was slightly that's all right. That's the same as the second level as well. I'm gonna have to look up what game B even means. This little thing, can you like fall down like long distances with it? Let's see. Nope. I thought it was a little thing where you could actually, fall down with an umbrella or something, you know, which don't try that in real life. It doesn't work. You cannot float down like Princess Peach with an umbrella. If you don't believe me, go look up idiots that have tried on YouTube. Yeah, these platforms are aligned differently. But that bouncing thing is the same exact, the spring that's going is the exact same pattern as it was. This is the same thing. It's just a little one fireball instead of a bunch. I'm gonna have to look up what the difference is. Might just be just slightly different stage layouts. By the way, the Mario is also an arcade game. It was where basically like you had to knock shell. Wasn't it like something about the shells or whatever? I think you could play the game and it's that Mario All Stars, right? You can play the original Mario arcade game and All Stars. All right, come on, Fire, get out of my way. Oh, never mind, you're not in my way. There we go. I want to look up what would game B even is in a second. Pause this real quick. And what is game A versus B in Donkey Kong NES? Let's see what it says. It says, for a second, it's being slow. In the NES version of Donkey Kong, when you start the game, you give two options, A and B. A is the easier difficulty designed for beginners. The enemies like barrels and fireballs move slower. You start with fewer hazards and have more time to learn the mechanics, ideal to new or casual players. B, harder difficulty designed for more experienced players. Enemies move faster, appear sooner, and behave more aggressively. You might see more barrels being thrown in quick succession and faster fireballs. Offers a greater challenge right from the start. So it's just hard mode. So I'm going to do it. I want to at least get some time on the clock here. I don't want to just have a 10-minute video saying fall asleep to this, you know, and then you can't. Well, I just save stated myself back into, I don't know if I'm in game A or B now. Actually, I think probably B. Yeah, B, because the fireball's running a lot faster. But yeah, the Mario game, the original one, was an arcade game. There was nothing like Super Mario Brothers. It was a single screen arcade game where it was basically like trying to kick, wasn't it like trying to kick like Koopas or something, like through a pipe? Why did my screen just glitch up like that? Okay. I didn't hit anything weird. I don't know what that was about, but it glitched up just really hard out of nowhere. Maybe I unlocked some secret code, some secret path that only the experts knew about. Oh, there goes glitching again. What is that? Why does it do that? It's like, we can't believe you got this far up the ladders. Now it's all glitchy looking. That's weird. It's back to normal now. Get the little umbrella for some extra points, and I fell off. Yeah, Mario does take fall damage in this game. He does, like, if you fall even a small distance in some cases, he will just die. There was a Mario ROM hack that was supposed to be like a sequel to this, and it was like really, really hard. And it wasn't a single screen. It was basically like they took Mario in this style right here and turn it into like a Mario World platformer, but it was so hard. Oh my God. I can't remember what it's called and I don't want to play it again. It was so frustrating. And I really gave it a chance. I just realized these little platform things did show up in Mario 1, didn't they? Like little platforms that go up and down. I just noticed it. And they also showed up in DKC. Nice. I never thought about that. But those little up and down platforms, little elevators, they did show up in the later games as a little homage to this. And the vines, I'm pretty sure, are a reference to DKC 2 with Donkey Kong 2 on this NES, which was Donkey Kong Jr. would climb up and down vines and stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to jump over the flames. I don't think that's going to work. I like how the little fireballs, like they'll climb the ladder, but they won't burn it up somehow. It must be metal ladders. Oh, well, you can't jump while you have the hammer, so. What happens if you actually touch Donkey Kong? You die. Okay. I was just kind of wondering right there. Let's play Donkey Kong 2 because I know I'm never going to probably get around to doing it by itself. We'll just call this the Donkey Kong Trilogy video where I'll just do little timestamps to each one. Let's go NES games, Donkey Kong. Oh, it's called Donkey Kong Jr., not Donkey Kong 2. So this is Donkey Kong Jr., which I'm going to assume A and B are just easy and hard again. Oh, why that little thing at the top keeps showing up? I don't know if that's going up in the final video or not, but I'll get rid of it if it does. Alright, so this one's a lot different. This one's more about like climbing vines and collecting fruit. You can see the little chompers, they show up in the Donkey Kong series as well. Up, he fell off the vine. In this version, Mario is the bad guy, which is probably the only time Mario's ever been the bad guy in a video game. Because I don't even think he was. No, he wasn't even the final boss in Wario Land. You know, that was a what do you call it? A genie that immediately turned good once you beat the genie. I don't understand that. Hey, there's little bouncy things from Mario Brothers. Little springs. Even some of these little animations from that little tiny drop hurt him. That's amazing. Are those supposed to be those little, well, no, the ones from Donkey Kong Country didn't drop eggs. Those little bird dudes that would swoop down in DKC 1. These chains were brought back in DKC2 for some of the later levels. This is much more complex than DKC. Well, Donkey Kong 1, not DKC. DKC didn't come out until the 90s. This is early 80s. So okay, so I can climb up these. I've never actually done these levels, so I'm not sure what I'm doing exactly. Guessing you just climb up these poles, avoid the sparky looking things, jump over those, and then this is actually a lot different than the original. I would say it's better. It's definitely better than the original. There are more than 3 levels though? Okay, there is more than 3 levels. Ooh, that's rough. This is definitely tough. The idea is to get all the keys and go up there to unlock Donkey Kong's cage by the look of this. Which is definitely easier said than done. Uh-oh. A little crocodile dude coming down here. Oh, that was close. That was so close. That was also very close. Oop. Screwed it up. Fine though. We're gonna get through it. I just want to see this final cutscene because I've never seen the final cutscene of this one. Whoops. That's just a... That was a rough spot. Be careful. Whoop. Be careful. That little crocodile dudes are coming for us. And look, this is wild, man. Because you got all this stuff going on, and having to watch the birds and crocodile dude just getting in the way. This is definitely something. Big problem is Donkey Kong Jr. is so slow going up and down the chains versus the other enemies. That's it right there. So let's see what happens. Okay, Donkey Kong falls again, and Mario died. Rip. Then it starts over, of course. Let's move on to Donkey Kong 3 and see what that's about. We have Donkey Kong 3. Load. NES. There we go. Donkey Kong 3. Game A. For some reason, Donkey Kong is hitting a wasp nest, which is a really bad idea. They're just saying. And we're using a bug spray to spray them on the butt for some reason. Don't know why. Perfect. 3,000. Thank you. We're just going to spray them on the butt over and over, I'm guessing. It's a very weird concept for a Donkey Kong game. But that doesn't feel good, having a beehive on your head. So we're on to the next level, which is what? Looks like the same as the last one, the first one actually. They're just more bees that come down and try to get you. Oh, that's what it is. It's definitely tougher. That thing shooting stingers out at me or something? It did. Is there a fourth level? Because I haven't seen Donkey Kong actually be defeated yet. Yeah, it looks like it. Round 4. Have to get over here and do it. Gotta zap the bugs and then zap him. Make sure we don't get hit. This is rough, man. Oh my god. This is definitely something. Ooh. Caught me. Ah, got me again. Come on, Donkey, get up that thing. That's round 4. Oh, you caught me with that stupid coconut. I mean, is there an ending to this? Or is it just rounds over and over the same thing? Because this is the first level all over again. But with more enemies. I'm not expecting complexity in this game, but I don't, doesn't look like it really does anything but just repeat the same stages over and over, so. Is there any other ones on that era? Let's see. What was... It was Donkey Kong Math. which, why not? We can be embarrassed by my math skills. Calculate A, calculate B, and then some exercise thing. Okay, let's do this. Is there going to be a bunch of enemies in the way, or is it just math? Okay, so plus six, what? Plus 64. Am I supposed to, what am I supposed to do? Add up the number? What? I'm confused by what they're even asking me to do here. Well, 8 times 8. 64. Is that what you're asking me to do? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a thing. This game is a thing. 55. So what do we got here? 55. 11 times 5 is 55. So I'm guessing you can only use two numbers. So what will be? I don't know. I don't think we can go on his side, can we? It blinks 7, so anyway, there's Donkey Kong math. Shows you how bad I am at math, but that's the end of the video for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're still awake. If you fell asleep, good night. Hopefully you come back and see me again. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Check out my full Donkey Kong Country playlist if you like the Donkey Kong series, or the Mario playlist if you like Mario, or Star Fox, which I also just did. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.